So let me start with, first of all, the claim of Jacinta and that they don't involve violence. When you base an entire organization on saying you want to expel an entire section of the population, there is inherent violence in that from the very beginning. Whether or not you say we're going to do violent things, that's not the point. The point is the politics and the purpose is violent from the beginning. And I can sit here and tell you numerous examples. For example, just the most recent one in Pietermaritzburg just the other day, where this is what March on March does. This is their modus operandi. They march and they say, we're marching peacefully. And then someone comes at the end of the rally and they say, by the way, a foreign national stabbed my brother and they live in that informal settlement. What did we see? We saw all of those marchers descending on that informal settlement, killing one person, beating up people, evicting several hundred Malawians. So, and they can deny. It's like Donald Trump. It's basically Donald Trump will dog whistle things and say that, and then he'll deny that he ever has any responsibility for doing any of these things. So let's not take that seriously. I don't think we can take that seriously. The second point I want to make is that March on March and the xenophobes, they are purveyors of misinformation and disinformation consistently, and this has got to be confronted. So, for example, our own Department of Education, when this notion came up that our department was, the education and schools were being flooded by foreign nationals, the Department of Education said the number of foreign nationals that are employed within the Department of Education in public schools is less than 10%. So 90% are South Africans. Does that create a problem? No, it's not a problem. In fact, many of those Zimbabweans and other teachers are very good teachers, and most of the pupils and principals will tell you so. It makes no difference where they were born. They're contributing. So what we have is we have a weaponization of misinformation. And then people put it on social media, and then people say, oh, the foreign nationals are doing this, the foreign nationals are doing that, and everybody begins to believe it and act on it. So we need to confront that. Then your third point with regards to the actual character of education. Yes, this is our point. Whether it's education, whether it's health, whether it's other things, where is the problem? Where does the problem lie? The problem lies in the fact that there has been mismanagement, corruption, a lack of proactive, should we say, policy that has created in the educational system. We have a situation where most sixth graders can't read and write properly. Whose failure is that? It's a failure of the system itself to actually teach a decent education, because resources, we have thousands of schools that don't have basic services. People still have drop toilets. Students are dying being, you've just recently dying by going in a drop toilet and this is outrageous. Students are sitting and learning under trees. So this is a governance problem, right? Whether it's education, health. It's not, and this is why March on March is absolutely wrong and the xenophobes are absolutely irresponsible. Because what it does is, it's exactly what the apartheid state did. What did the apartheid state do when they got into trouble? They blamed black people. Absolutely. They pointed the finger and said, it's the blacks, the blacks did this, they're causing trouble, we're the responsible ones. This group now is trying to do the same thing. They're trying to weaponize their nationality and citizenship and blame foreigners for things that they themselves have created. So let's look in the mirror as South Africans. Let's look and say, what are our problems? Why do we have these problems? What can we do about these problems, and who's responsible for those problems? Let's not look for scapegoats and look for those that are the most vulnerable.
I would say this white South African is very intelligent in his speech. The presentation is well accurate and calculated. And it is very true that woman Jacinta Zuma is not a good person. This is a criminal herself who is using African migrants as a weapon to execute her own interests.
The majority of the crime, particularly interpersonal crime, violent crime, happens between people who know each other. And those are South Africans who know each other. There's also this assertion from the president that illegal migration places additional burdens on health services. That is not the case, because many undocumented people deliberately avoid the public healthcare system. Why? Because they are afraid of being victimized. They are afraid someone within that system would call them out and call a police officer on them. Also, it's not people who overwhelm the healthcare system. It's people who steal from the healthcare system. 2 billion rand from one Tembisa hospital alone, stolen. Also, where I'll fact check the president, he said that migration often linked to the perceptions that foreigners are benefiting from welfare. No, they don't. Yes, in certain instances, people who are asylum seekers, in other words, legally allowed to be here, they can access certain grants. But then also he said that he linked undocumented migration to organized criminal networks involving in trafficking and extortion. Of course, there is crime in every group, but I would argue quite vehemently the majority of the crime, particularly interpersonal crime, violent crime, happens between people who know each other, and those are South Africans.
Our white brother also made mention of them doing the same as the apartheid government, but I would say they are doing worse than the apartheid government. There's nothing equivalent to the apartheid government. They are doing worse. This is horrible. This is very pathetic. And it seems like the president is also involved in these xenophobic activities. If he is not involved, he will do something about it. But he is sitting down watching, meaning he wants the black South Africans to blame the African migrants to cover up the ANC's activities, their corruption, their stealing, the theft that is going on in the government. They want to cover up. So the African migrant is the problem. Let us go for them. The government is innocent. This is so sad. Such a mindset ruling a country. This is so sad. It is very pathetic indeed. So all the African migrants they are killing, they are innocent. All the African migrants that they are chasing, they are innocent. And let me remind you, I always say this, it is never about illegal immigration. Don't get it twisted. It is never about illegal immigration. It is about Africans, African migrants. Either you are documented or not documented. You must leave. You must be killed. If you listen clearly to our white South African brothers' conversation, you can pinpoint all the agendas, all the plans, all the tricks, all the tactics, all the secrets that they have executed against African migrants, what they refer to as foreigners, to implement their own selfish interests. So you are innocent as an African migrant in South Africa. You've done nothing wrong. You've not taken anybody's job. You are not doing anything wrong. They are using you to execute their selfish plans. And that woman, Jacinta, is very much aware that the African migrants are not the problem. It's not like she don't know. She knows. She's very much aware. I would say I've never seen such a wicked woman in this universe of ours. A woman who got children, but wants other women's children to be killed in cold blood to execute her selfish agendas. That is very, very bad. That is very bad. I would say that is very bad. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. But I pray to God that this time Africans will respond in a good way so that this will not repeat in the future. Africans will respond in a manner whereby Africans will not travel to South Africa anymore. Let that country be isolated in the continent. Let them have their country in peace. They will not come out of South Africa to any African country, and no African will enter into South Africa. Let that country be island on its own. Let them be in isolation. And let's watch what will happen in the future. Either good or bad, that is none of our problem. That is none of our business. But I know, karma, they say, is a bitch. The future awaits, and the future is pregnant. And that pregnancy will soon deliver a baby. and that baby will be the result of their evil deeds. Say no to xenophobia. Say no to Afrophobia. A word to the wise. As I always say, it is enough. Like the video, share it, subscribe, and drop a comment at the comment section. My name remains Don Cyrus. I'll see you in the next one. Stay awesome.